Welcome to the Gridcenter. I'm your host Shane Falco.
Big D.
This is Big D, back together again, here for your playoff preview for the Gridiron for the spring 2011 season. This edition we're going to talk about the SEC conference and some interesting matchups and a lot of things that can happen. Let's go ahead and break off the matchups first. Well, LNG and DX got the bye, so they're the 1 and 2 seed, respectively. Then we're going to have the 3-6 matchup of No Limit versus Sikwit, and the 4-5 of Bad Boys and TMT. Should be a couple of real good first round games there.
Yes, and I'm going to bring my earplugs.
Are you?
It's going to be loud, if anything.
It could be.
We all know it's going to be physical, but it's going to be loud.
Yeah, the Bad Boys TMT game definitely is two teams the same kind of style, like to get into it. So it should be an interesting matchup. And honestly, No Limit's really playing some good ball at the end of the season.
Yeah,
and they struggled early, but it looks like they actually could take this thing. There's a scenario I think they could actually take this thing.
Well, this league has been tight this whole season, and when you have TMT and Sikwit, who's in the championship last year,
as the 5 and 6,
it is what it is. I mean, I look at LNG, a young team, but they haven't played in 5 weeks.
No.
DX is DX, and you know, No Limit stepped their game up. Got a new quarterback, they're doing their thing. So it's up in the air. I mean, last year I could probably predict who's going to be in the finals. This year I can't.
Right. I think last year we pretty much had the finals pegged.
Yeah.
And for the last season, and this season definitely is wide open. Honestly, early on in the season, it looked like LNG could just run away with it.
Yep.
But a lot of weeks off could have hurt their momentum. I'm sure they're going to come out fired up in their first game because they've been anxious to get out there and get to it. I mean, just a couple of no-shows and the off weeks, and more holiday, and it'll be interesting to see. But they're definitely a dangerous athletic team.
They are.
I mean, they're probably one of the most explosive teams on a pitchback that I've seen. I mean, you up the ball on that pitch, and it's good night. So we'll see what happens. Let's start with the 3-6 game first. No Limit versus Sikwit.
No Limit versus Sikwit. First and foremost, if everybody shows up, if there's no discrepancies on time or anything, it's going to be a great game. No Limit matches the physical play of Sikwit. Sikwit has different formations. They have Mark back there. Sometimes they have Steve back there. They go into the spread formation. They do what they do, and I'm very interested defensively. I want to see their Sikwit O-line versus No Limit's D-line and how they react and make adjustments. And when you get down to this play, it's whoever makes the adjustment first wins. That's how it is.
Should be a nice little story. Peanuts played with Sikwit for a little while, and now he's running with No Limit.
Yeah.
So I'm sure there's going to be some, desire to make some plays on both ends there. Shut him down and for him to make some plays, so should be interesting.
Very interesting.
Sikwit's always had a pretty good defense. Defensive backs are pretty solid, and I'd like to see them cover Lamont and the crew. Should definitely be some good times.
Yeah.
I mean, that's definitely a good matchup of O and D line play.
Yeah, it is
in that game.
It is.
So Bad Boys and TMT.
Bad Boys and TMT. If Bad Boys show up and they're focused and they're taking it seriously, it's going to be a good game. It should be a good game. I seen TMT come out with a full squad this weekend and dismantle RC Vegas.
They were in playoff form.
Yeah,
that is for sure.
And and you look at TMT, that don't look like a 6-seeded team.
No.
So
the most dangerous 6-seeded team probably in the history of 6-seeded teams in the Gridiron.
Well, look at 5 and 6. You look at 5 and 6.
Sorry, they're the 5th-seeded team, but sorry.
Yeah, but
still,
they turn it on during the playoffs. Not using any excuse for them or anything like that. But you'll see a different TMT, a different mindset.
Well, there'll definitely be no excuses if they lose in the playoffs because they'll have brought everything. That's for sure. Even had a tank sighting out there, dressed out. So he said he was dressed out last week. So maybe that's all it took. Just him to throw the old jersey back on.
It's playoff time. That's what it is.
It's what it is. So, Ben's going to break down to some interesting second round games as well. 4-5, Bad Boys TMT versus LNG. I mean, both of those, all three of those teams when they played, I mean, LNG had very physical contests with both of them and didn't back down. Knocked off TMT earlier in the season, so definitely going to be looking for some action there.
Yeah. I'm going to go on record and say Big D has no predictions this week. From now, my predictions is over, the regular season. We'll talk about my last prediction that I was forced to make last week when we get to the Big 12, but it's just going to be hard.
No predictions?
No predictions at all.
I did hear a comment.
No, you did not.
No, I heard a comment out there this week.
You didn't hear it?
That wasn't from you.
Oh, okay.
I heard someone talking about you when they said you're the Charles Barkley of this league because your predictions are terrible.
Yeah, pretty much.
Terrible.
Just like my golf swing.
You're terrible.
It's the same thing, doesn't matter.
Now, Disco can confirm with your golf swing. And that's just a video game.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But we should have brought Don King out. Maybe the sight of him on the Gridcenter will get the Bad Boys all fired up and they just run through everybody.
Nah, you know...
Last time we talked about the Bad Boys...
I have a little segment in front of him in his division too.
They came out to play, so...
It's going to be a very good...
Definitely will be a...
Very good Gridcenter this week.
Definitely be a good matchup, I know, in that game. Whoever comes out, whether it be Bad Boys or TMT, definitely going to have their hands full with LNG, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And DX is going to have the winner of the No Limit Sickwitha game. They finally got over the Sickwitha hump this year. You could say that's when Sickwitha was struggling,
Playoff time.
but we'll see. It's going to be playoff time, so like I said, it'll be different.
It's playoff time.
They just lost to No Limit this past week, so there was nothing on the line, but I mean, it's still going to be a telling tale of the game. I mean, there was definitely, it wasn't like neither team was trying. Both teams are definitely giving it out, so it could be a good, if the game's anything like it was this past Sunday, it's going to be another really good game. See if the offense can finally win the whole thing. I mean,
We'll see.
it's gonna be tough. Everyone says they don't have a defense. I mean, they got a lot more players. I think they finally gotten some of the, they finally got that other offensive piece they wanted, and they picked up Witt. So obviously they're gonna be dangerous scoring points. If the offense shows up, or the defense can get them some stops, I think it could be their season. Finally get that thing off their back. What do you think?
Could be.
So, give me a prediction.
None.
Just give me a prediction. Who do you think is gonna win it all?
None.
Give me something.
But I will say this, all right, if I have to go out on a limb, I would say the way this team looked when they played this week, if they come out all business like they did this week, they should be able to take it all. Even at the 5 or 6 seed. Now I'm going with TMT.
TMT?
Yeah.
It's a very safe bet.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a very safe bet, and they've got the track record. They definitely have that. I'm gonna go ahead and not put one out. I just wanted to get you to say one, because you said no predictions, so I want to see if I can get you to crack.
Ooh, and I cracked.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of tipped my hat a little bit. I think, I'm gonna go with the dark horse. I'm actually gonna go with the dark horse. I'm gonna go with No Limit. I don't know why. I don't know why, but I'm just gonna go with, they could easily come out and Sickwitha can come out and beat them 40-6 this week.
It's not a bad pick.
But if I got eat it, I got eat it. But I'm gonna go with something off the sheet.
No, you went with something safe. That's what you did.
No, I'm gonna go off the sheet. I'm gonna go off the sheet this time. All right, that's gonna wrap it up for the SEC playoff preview. So good luck to all those teams out there, and we'll see you out there.